Hey everybody, welcome to the masterclass where you will learn how to take back your time, your energy, and your identity. Does that sound like something? Sign me up! You already did, so congratulations. My name is Jenny Warner. I am from With Love, Jenny Warner, and I am here to show you how you can start to realize some of the patterns that you have accumulated throughout your life, what beliefs might be behind those patterns, thus, where did they come from? What is really at the root cause of why it's so hard to change some of those patterns? Some of you may have had struggles before with keeping New Year's resolutions or trying to do this or trying to do that. And we're really going to take a look at things from a completely different perspective. We're going to look at them from a perspective of let's just start over with a blank slate. Now, this is not a burn the bras kind of thing, but it is a burn the ships kind of thing. Once you know this information, I don't want you to ever go back to the old way of living, because that is not you in your fullest power. We are here at this stage of our lives. Our kids have grown up. We are starting to look at, I don't feel so good in my body anymore. I'm kind of attracting the relationships that aren't really nurturing me and making me feel great every single day. I want to do more with my life. I see the next chapter and I don't want to live with regrets. You might also be one of those women who, like me, was also filled with resentment. So it's time to turn the page, start a new chapter, clear the slates, and figure out what's next for your life, the life that you want to live, and the life that you know is destined for you. But we're going to do it now. So take a few minutes, get comfortable, go get a journal, get some water, light a candle if you want to. We are going to move through some activities of visualization. So if this is a point where you are in the car or you're someplace where you're not going to be able to do a visualization comfortably, safely, securely, just pause it for now, come back. But this is time for you, and I really admire you for doing this. I applaud you for doing this, and I really want you to enjoy it. This is your time. Enjoy. So welcome. If we have not worked together before, and if we have not met personally before, I'm Jenny Warner. It's so very nice to be in your home or on your phone, wherever you might be watching this. What I want to do is really just take a minute right now and let's get grounded, let's get centered, because again, this is all about you. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes as long as you're not driving or walking or operating heavy machinery. Just get really still. You might even put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And I ask you to do that so that you can really feel yourself breathe. So let's take a couple of just really super gentle, calming breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your belly expanding when you do that. Nobody's watching. I don't care what your waistband looks like. Just feel that air. Fill up your lungs, fill up your body. Create that fire of the passionate leader that you are and that we're going to help remind you of. Feel your sits bones, your bum sitting on the chair, and it's holding you. It's cradling you. You might even feel yourself connected further to the ground and how stable that is. And in this space and in this time, you are stable. You are safe. You are secure. One big breath out. You might even sigh. Just just sending the signal to your brain, your body, and your nervous system that we're okay. We can be open to listening, open to receiving, open to imagining and exploring. So once again, welcome. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. We are not going to fix anything. There is nothing to be fixed. You are just becoming more of who you are. You might have that inkling or that nagging or that uncomfortability in your life that you just know that it feels like it's time for something different. It's time for something more. It's time for me to step into something different. So in my program, which is the Remastered Roadmap, that is not what we are talking about today. Today it's all about reimagining your and reclaiming your time, your energy, and your identity. We're going to walk through the 4 pillars because they are so applicable into your everyday life that I want to hold nothing back, and I want you to do this right away. The reason that I have created this Remastered Roadmap and this 4-pillar philosophy for life is because we are meant for more. The women in the world are the lifeblood of the planet. We've known this for millennia. There have been a whole lot of phases in time where they have been trying to shut us down, but it's time to fully step into coming back into our fullness. And so with this pillar system that I have created, this is the perfect opportunity for you to really fill your cup up again. This is to get rid of all the bullshit that society has put on us, that we have put on ourselves, and to really reimagine what we want our life to look like, to reimagine and anchor to what that looks like in the future so that we can reverse engineer it and start living that life now. We are going to walk through a renew pillar, which is really releasing what doesn't fit anymore and figuring out what does fit, what makes us fueled, what does propel us, what fills our cup, what is going to help get us to that point in the future that we want to, on how we want to feel. So we're not going to talk today about financials in great detail, but we're going to talk about all of these different components of the wheel, including financials, including your health, which is your food and how you move your body, and your mental health. We are going to talk about your relationships, so not only with your kids and your spouse or your partner, but also your family, your parents, if you're still having your parents around, your siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, all of the people that have influence over you, and that includes your friends and neighbors and community. So we're going to talk about what fills you up, how can you get more of what you want in the future, and who is going to help get you there. Who will be the person in the reignite pillar, we'll talk about this, or the people that are going to help give you that spark, that are going to be the people that help pull you forward instead of the people that keep you tethered back. You know those relationships that... Okay, so I just want to set this up for you. This is my favorite part of the whole thing. This is the reimagine phase. So this is where we really get to just release everything that we think we know and to play, to really just get out of our own way, get out of our own head, get out of our own patterns and beliefs, and completely reimagine. So just to set this up, we're going to do some reflection initially. We are then going to move into a guided visualization, which will take about 10 minutes. And that is where you are going to step into your frequency of who you are becoming. We are then going to come back and reflect on what it is that you saw or felt in that guided visualization. And then we're going to finish off by really anchoring more into who it is that you want to become. So right now, what I would love for you to do, if you have your journal handy, just take it out. And if you don't have a journal, start mentally noting, or you can even take out your phone and make some voice notes or send yourself a text. But where do you feel your life is now emotionally? And if you were to look at this on a daily basis, how many hours out of the day, or however you might wish to quantify this, is it mostly in the morning? Is it mostly in the evening? You've got a couple of ways that you can do this, but I want you to start quantifying for yourself. How often do you feel worried? How often do you feel in a day? How often do you feel angry or frustrated? How often in your day do you feel joyful or like you can play? How often do you feel like you can take some time for quiet, for silence, whether it be meditation, whether it be just staring out the window, whether it be just enjoying a cup of coffee in peace and quiet? And how often during the day are you worried, concerned, appreciative, thinking about money and your financial status, your financial situation? Just note it. All right, and with this feeling of calm, this sense of calm, this is your invitation to reimagine. This is where you're going to get clarity. You're going to give yourself permission to desire more for yourself, more for your life, so that you can be more of who you are, which is exactly what you need and everyone around you needs. You don't need to be better at a to-do list. You just need a new frequency. And you need to be able to open yourself up to that. So from this place, I invite you to imagine yourself in your kitchen. You might be making yourself a cup of tea, getting yourself a nice glass of water, whatever your drink of choice is. And as you look up, you look out your window and you see this beautiful, iridescent, humongous bubble outside your window. And you're curious. You go over to the window and you look. You aren't seeing things. That is a ginormous bubble. It feels like it's calling to you. And so you go outside, you get close to the bubble, and you have this knowing, this innate sense that it is inviting you to step into the bubble. You feel very peaceful, very calm. You have this internal knowing that everything is going to be exactly as it was when you return. There's no need to worry about anything. It's as though the outside world gets put on pause. And as you step into this beautiful, comfortable, perfectly temperate bubble, the bubble slowly begins to move. But you're not scared. You feel very, very safe and secure in this. And now that we have a little bit more insight into what our future self, what our future can look like if we spend more time focusing on what really matters, this is the time when we get to start scrubbing, start categorizing, start being more intentional about what we can do to make ourselves feel better, not the shoulds that we feel have been put upon us, but what will really renew our soul, fill our cups so that we can be the person that we want to be. And so this is the renew phase. So from the visualization, what are some of the things that she has been able to relay back to you that she has done to help her get to that point? What types of relationships is she fostering? Who might have fallen away out of her life, or that she just doesn't spend quite as much time engaged with? Of those relationships that she has, are those pulling her forward? Are they helping to affirm her? Are they helping to challenge her and make her want to be better? Standing beside her as an accountability buddy, standing beside her and being someone that she can emulate or look up to or rely upon. What things is she doing on a regular basis that help to make her feel amazing? What foods? How is she moving her body? How is she treating her finances? Is she doing things that help fill her internally instead of looking for all of the material things that she may have been pouring herself into in the past, or that you might be pouring yourself into? I say that as I'm projecting that that's what I used to do. I used to look externally for the validation. I used to be a shopping addict. I used to definitely have a number of addictions that were not healthy because I was trying to feel what I really wanted to feel, but I couldn't feel, and so I had to numb myself. And there was also then the other side of that, which was, all right, the next pillar that we're going to talk about is the reignite. So this is what really does light you up. What makes you excited? What makes you feel the verve, the je ne sais quoi, the juiciness, the zhuzh in your life? What is calling you back to life? It might be something that you used to do as a kid, or that you did before kids, or that you have seen in a TikTok video or on social media or on YouTube that you have wanted to try, but it just seems like it would be so much fun. What is it that can give you that spark back in your life that can keep things ignited? For me, it's tennis. I love to play tennis, and they call me like a little golden retriever out on the courts. Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. It's an opportunity to socialize that is just fun, and we laugh, laugh, laugh. It gets me outside. It gets me moving my body. It lets me really get rid of some energy and show some power. And it really just keeps me moving and keeps me happy. You can see, I think my whole demeanor just changed as I talk about tennis. But what might it be for you? For my husband, it's cooking. He absolutely loves cooking. I know, I am one of the luckiest women on earth. So lucky. But what is it that lights you up? It's maybe just whatever it is that can bring you flow into your life, that can reignite some spark and passion. As women, we are the creative vessels of the planet. That is how God created us, to be creators. And so what is it that can help you feel that sense of life again, that can help you feel alive? Whatever it is, really noodle on that. Maybe come up with a list of 20 or 25 different things that you can just try out. It doesn't have to be something that you've done in the past. It might be something that you want to try. Go for it. Why not? What relationships in your life fill you up and support you, and which ones don't? Again, we're going to go back to the 80-20 rule. Those relationships that really do ignite you, spend 80% of your time focused on just those. It might be one person, it might be 3 people, it might be more, but be really intentional about who it is that lights you up, and be really honest with yourself. about who it is that lights you up. And then bonus points, you can even take it a little bit further and figure out what is it about that person that lights me up, that helps reignite me, that helps keep me centered, that helps keep me grounded, and that helps me feel supported and like I want to be moving. And then we come to receive and recalibrate. So receiving is all about the gratitude. And I know it sounds so cliche and it sounds so trite, and I know that you've heard this over and over again, but when you can actually anchor it in, and even just the smallest little thing, literally like, okay, I see that ant. Well, that might mean that it's not cold enough to, it's starting to warm up, and so the ants are even out. It's not too cold for the ants. I am not talking about being Pollyannish. I am not talking about ignoring everything that is otherwise going on in the world, but where you put your attention grows. Where you put your attention is where energy flows. Where energy flows, that's what grows. And so if you want to, this is all part of the reticular activating system. For any of you that have followed me for any period of time, I've been talking about this for years. It's the area of your brain and your nervous system that actually looks for what it is that you think about on a regular basis. So the example that is always given is if you're thinking about buying a white car or a red car, and you've been thinking about it, and then everywhere you go, you see red cars. You're like, oh, that must be a sign. By the same token, everybody is just an asshole. That person was just an asshole. Everybody's an asshole. Guess what you're going to see? Guess what you're going to hear? Lots of that. So this is not rocket science. This is not woo-woo. This is just how our brain works. It's how the ego mind works. It's how the system, or parts of our nervous system work, because it is what we are supposed to be focusing on. Back in caveman days, it was, I am looking for food. And so that allowed the focus to be, I'm looking for food, I'm looking for food, I'm looking for food. I love berries, I'm going to start seeing berries. So that's where this is all coming to place. So again, if you look for things that you can be grateful for in your life, guaranteed you're going to find more things to be grateful for. What we've done today is going to take some integration. And so that is one of the reasons why I wanted to send this out as a pre-recorded masterclass, so that you could go back. You can go back and revisit the visualization as many times as you want. You can take notes as many times as you want. Play around with the different things that you received from this, and then implement them very slowly. So with this, I do want to invite you into the Remastered Roadmap, which is something that we do over 8 weeks. We take each of these pillars, we go through them a couple of different times. There is so much more than what that sounds like. We do trauma work. If there are things that are holding you back, we will look at that. You are in a group setting. It's a very confidential group setting. It does become like a soul sister group. I am very particular in who I let in. I do talk with each person in advance. And so if somebody is not ready, or if somebody is one of those naysayers, I'm going to invite them to do it another time. They're not quite ready. We'll do some more work on the side to get them to a point where they're going to be able to be more supportive of one another and be more open. So again, I'm very particular in who comes into these special sacred containers, because of just what I said in the previous module, or the previous slide. You're changing your life, which is sacred. And so anything that is going to be detrimental to that, not invited. And so over these 8 weeks, we get together on a weekly basis. We come together and talk about what's going on. We focus on one of the pillars. We go through visualizations. We do shamanic work. We do breath work. We do energy, body movement. We do journaling. We talk about past lives. We talk about our spirituality. We talk about recipes and food. We talk about all the types of things. We talk about money and how we can make that stronger in your life, a better relationship with that in your life. We talk about relationships. It's the full scope of your life, your remastered life. So the entire concept of this came about, the program itself came about some time ago when I was hitting my rock bottom, and I just didn't want to live like that anymore. And when I say I didn't want to live like that anymore, I meant I didn't want to live like that anymore. I felt invisible. I felt not listened to. I felt taken for granted. I felt exhausted. I felt unfulfilled. I was resentful. I felt awful in your life. Keep an eye on your inbox. I will continue to send, because we are not quite to the next phase of when the next 8-week session starts. So I'm going to continue to send you activations and integrations and journal prompts in your email. So keep an eye open for those so that you can keep the feeling going and keep the process moving, keeping the momentum going. In the email will also be ways to connect with me within our free community. You can DM me on social, and I will also provide you both my calendar link, and you can certainly reply to the email on if this sounds like it's interesting to you. If you have questions, I'm here. Or if you're just ready to go, I will get you the link and I'll get you the workbooks in advance so that you can keep the momentum going. So I know that this was meaningful for you because it was so meaningful for me, and you did amazing work, and I feel it. I feel that this is your opportunity to step into the leadership that you want at the right time so that we can be there for our kids through all this crazy shit going on in the world and support them however they need to be supported. Be open, share perspectives, share compassion, and share our strength and our centeredness so that we can be the anchor in the harbor. We can weather any storm. Thank you so much. I do love you all so much. Thanks for your time.